What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this, we have Australian reporter reflects on being shot with rubber bullet during LA protest. I saw a tiny clip in a different video, and it said 9 News, and I remembered that being the Australia News logo and everything. So I was like, let me find out if it was Australian reporter, and I see that it is. And this is insane. I know LA, the raids, the protests, everything that's going on is violent over there. But we're shooting reporters. Before we dive in, if you guys happen to enjoy, don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and let's figure out what happened.
The chaos unfolding in LA is sending shockwaves across the globe. Our very own US correspondent Lauren Tomasi was caught up in the mayhem, shot with a rubber bullet. Take a look.
After hours of standing off, this situation has now rapidly deteriorated. The LAPD moving in on horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters, moving them on through the heart of LA.
Jesus.
You okay?
I'm good.
Doesn't matter how many times you watch it, right? Lauren joins us live now from LA. Lauren, I mean, I think we were all so shocked and so deeply troubled by what happened to you yesterday. How are you feeling this morning?
Morning, Sarah and Carlos. I'm good, thank you. I have a bit of a bloody big old bruise and it's a little bit sore, but I am all okay, thank you.
Hey, can you talk us through just, it was obviously, it's been a big couple of days, but it seemed to me that escalated. And talk us about to what happened before and then during and after.
Yeah, I mean, we were reporting on the Today Show all morning the situation on the ground in downtown LA. My cameraman Jimmy and I had started by that detention centre in downtown LA, and there was, a few skirmishes here and there and a little bit of chaos moments as we went throughout the morning, but it was about 5 o'clock local time when there were suddenly just thousands of protesters on the streets of downtown LA, and we felt that presence of the LAPD and law enforcement really ramp up. Jimmy and I went live. We were doing a cross into the program. And police started pushing their way up the street. They'd begun firing tear gas canisters and those rubber bullets, and we moved onto the sidewalk and really tried to stay out of the way. What you saw, that report...
So it wasn't, so the protesters wasn't even doing nothing violent, wasn't even doing nothing to deserve tear gas and rubber bullets being shot. And even when it started happening, they actually tried to move out of the way of the that's ridiculous, bro. What happened? She should have never been shot by any type of rubber bullet. That's disgusting. And the behavior of the police is just how can they act like that? How can they do that to the citizens?
Was at the end of that live cross. We'd moved off to the side of the road. We were at the side of police. I had my back to those LAPD officers. I was really focused on the camera and, finishing that report, telling what was happening. And I got hit. Jimmy scooped me up and we made our way out of there as quickly as possible. Bit of a shock.
Oh, I mean, it's a tremendous shock, Lauren, and you were just doing your job, right? And we've been in awe of your coverage for the past few days and how incredibly difficult those circumstances are for you. We know it was tense. I mean, those circumstances that you found yourselves in for that report specifically seemed to be somewhat calmer, and then all of a sudden, he turned and fired at you. It just seems so out of place and so bizarre.
In that situation, I didn't see no people running up on the cops. I didn't see anybody throwing anything at them. So, and then she literally had her back turned to, and somebody just aims and shoots her in the leg.
Have you managed to, has there been any explanation? Have you been able to sort of gain any intel on how that happened, why that happened?
No, I mean, where we were standing, it felt like things had calmed down a little bit after that big, chaos of moving up the street, and we'd found a moment where police were still standing off there, but it had calmed for a moment. The police were standing still, and that is why we stepped off to the side. We weren't in a group of protesters or anything. We were with other media. I think you can see a cameraman walk behind me in the middle of that shot. So, look, we were doing our best to report what was happening from the scene in the safest way we possibly could. And Jimmy and I were listening to everything the LAPD had been saying to us.
But also, you're balancing a lot there. And you've also got protesters who are furious with you. And for the most part, over the last couple of days, I've seen you in every circumstance be calm and talk to these people. You've also been fearlessly unbiased. So that's reporting both sides of it. And then out of the blue, you get lined up. Is that how, I mean, you're loath to, I know you, you're loath to be part of this story. But in a way you are, and it's going to have reaction and ramifications across America. That's how bad the situation is.
Her back is literally turned, dude. That's disgusting. That's ridiculous.
In LA right now.
That's BS.
Look, I feel embarrassed, quite frankly. I really don't want to be the story as part of this. We were just on the ground trying to do our job. I was there. You know, Jimmy and I were doing our best to bring to Australia what is unfolding on the streets of LA. And it's a really unfortunate thing that has happened. And I think, you know, as a journalist, we want to be there telling the story. I think, you know, it's a really crappy thing that's happened, but I really don't want to be the story here. It is, you know, a really chaotic situation that's unfolding in Los Angeles.
I mean, Lauren, you've got so much grace, and as Carl said, we know that about you, and none of us ever want to be the story. You want to be reporting on the facts and what's unfolding in front of you, and you do that so well, and you've brought that to our audiences, as we said, for days now, and we take our hats off to you because you've been doing an incredible job. And yeah, just the way that officer turned and pointed at you and targeted you with your back to him. I mean, it's unforgivable. And we really feel for you, and, you know, we thank you for your grace, frankly.
Lauren, you're going to be part of this story now ongoing. Do you have any reservations?
I mean, I think that it's so important that, you know, journalists are out there doing our job, and we've got to keep on doing that. It's, you know, no journalist wants to be the story. And certainly I hope that, you know, we can move on from that and, you know, focus what is unfolding, you know, throughout America. It's a really tense situation at the moment. The sense on the ground is so tense. And, you know, I just want to move on, and I will get back out there and keep on reporting it.
All right, good on you, Lauren. It's good to talk to you. And look, speak for yourself when you say you don't want to be the story. I'm, you know, happy to be the story any day of the week.
Guys, I do have to tell you, though, I've had some lovely people reach out, and one of the phone calls I didn't expect to get today was actually from the Italian consulate. Ciao, Lauren. Tomasi, you might have gathered, is actually an Italian name. And so the Italians have checked in on me, which was a really lovely moment. So.
What, was he asking if you were single or something? No, you know the Italians, they always see an angle.
Hopefully he offered you some tiramisu at the very least.
Asking me out for some pasta.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Hey, job well done, and we'll keep watching because it's such an important story and doing a terrific job.
Sure.
Thank
really
you,
strong woman.
For sure, doing an absolutely amazing job. It is completely unforgivable. It's absolutely disgusting. That's all we have. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, check out the next. I'll see y'all next time.